Welcome to the Talent Show, where you'll meet the people who power TTEC. No, I am not Rebecca, your regular host. She's away enjoying some time off. Knowing her, she's likely spending some time with family. After all, it is Mental Health Awareness Month. So taking some me time is just what the doctor ordered for all of us. Yes, I'm Helen, and I'll be your host for today's episode. We know your time is valuable, so thanks for joining us. Today, we are in for an extraordinary session focusing on career transitions and the incredible journey of our distinguished guest. But first, before we get started, tell us in the chat, where are you joining us from today? And maybe also share what you will do or have done for some me time in observance of Mental Health Awareness Month. Would love to hear your thoughts. If you're unsure, we've created some short experiences like breathing and listening exercises that you must try. So we do encourage you to check it out after the show here on our TTEC page. Today, we are so honored to feature Chelsea Long, a former member of the U.S. Air Force who has made an inspiring transition into the corporate world. Chelsea's story is truly a testament to resilience, adaptability, and the power of leveraging unique skills in new environments. After dedicating herself to her country, she has embarked on a new path on TTEC, starting as she started in the customer service agent world and now has moved into the world of talent acquisition. She'll share more in today's episode. But we'll dive into Chelsea's experiences and explore challenges, opportunities that she encountered along the way. So hang tight. And per usual, at the end of the show, we'll share some spotlight opportunities. But she'll also share some valuable insights and practical tips for anyone considering a career change, whether you're a veteran like Chelsea or a professional just looking to navigate a new industry. We want to extend a warm welcome to any veterans and professionals listening in and watching from around the world. We want you to know that your skills, experiences, and dedication are truly unparalleled, and organizations like us at TTEC are really eager to support your career's transition. So, without further ado, let's welcome Chelsea Long to the Talent Show. Hi, Chelsea. How are you?
I'm good, Helen. Thank you so much for having me today.
Chelsea, thank you so much for joining us. And most importantly, thank you for your service. And thanks for anybody watching that has served their countries around the world. So are you ready to get started today?
I'm so excited to be here. I love talking about what I do. So I'm ready.
Oh, so excited we were spoiled. We got to prepare with Chelsea for this episode, so we can't wait to for you to listen to what she shared with us. So let's just dive right in. And we'd like to ask, can you share a bit about yourself and what led you to switch careers from the military service life to customer service?
Yeah, absolutely. So I did 6 years in the United States Air Force. I was security forces. So I do come from a law enforcement background. Um, I hit my 6 year mark and decided, this isn't necessarily my cup of tea, but I enjoyed my experience. I enjoyed the things that I learned.
Yeah.
And I was able to take my law enforcement background and translate that into customer service work. Spent 10-ish months as a customer service representative, and then applied for talent acquisition, and now I'm here.
Yay. Wow. That is a pretty quick
Yeah.
trajectory. And not just from, obviously you had 6 years of your
Mhm.
journey but then you kind of developed your career at TTEC rather quickly. So congratulations, Chelsea. That's awesome. How are you liking your role?
I absolutely love what I do. I like being able to get to talk to people from all kinds of different backgrounds, get to interview them, and also get to bring them on as a part of the team. Like day one is my absolute favorite day.
Love that. Do you feel like a lot of the skills that you acquired in your prior experience are truly transferable to like your role today?
Oh, absolutely. I know. So when I interviewed for talent acquisition, they were talking about skills and things like that. So with a law enforcement background, I did a lot of de-escalation. I did dispatched for a little bit. So I did have, de-escalation on the phone experience in stressful situations.
Wow.
So that I think is what translated the best. Um, and just being able to talk to people and talk them through stressful situations and help people with their problems, I think is what helped considerably.
Amazing. If somebody was in your shoes or similar situations, whether it's changing, you know, industry or career, or transitioning into civilian world, um, why should people consider a career in customer service in particular?
So for me personally, I took the route that I did with TTEC to be able to focus on myself, focus on my mental and my physical health. 6 years in the Air Force as security forces, nonetheless, I carried probably about 85 to 90 pounds worth of gear
Wow.
on my body every single day. And I worked 5 or 6 days a week. So that's God, I'm not even good at math, so I'm not even going to try to do that math.
Yeah.
But that's the last 6 years of wear and tear and stress.
Wow.
So I'm thankful that my just under a year and a half here, I've been able to focus on myself, focus on healing my body, healing my mental health, and just being an overall happy, back to myself kind of person.
Oh, that makes me so happy for you, Chelsea. It sounds like a true journey of, in a place that you've been able to
Mhm.
blossom both professionally and personally. It sounds like, love hearing that. But again, not everything's butterflies and rainbows, right? So
Mhm.
if it's there, are there any particular challenges that you face while transitioning to the customer service role, or from customer service to your existing role as talent in the talent acquisition world?
So sometimes you'll hear people say that transitioning from a military role into a civilian role, the transition is the hardest. I didn't believe that for the longest time. I was like, no, I'll be okay. And then it came my turn to transition, and I definitely found myself in, for lack of better terms, a struggle bus. Um,
Mhm.
Going from a really strict top down form of communication, and having to report to superiors and supervisors in a really specific, really strict manner, made talking to people in the physical office environment a little difficult for me. I
Mhm.
was very strict in my appearance. I had definitely dyed my hair orange as soon as I got out. It was the first thing I did.
Love
Um,
that.
so I might have had orange hair, but I was still, really strict and by the book about the way that I
Mhm.
approached people.
Mhm.
So it took me several months to figure out how to put that military brain
Mhm.
behind me, essentially.
Love that. And what do you feel, what was the number one thing that really helped you kind of take that, next step, for whether a mindset perspective,
Mhm.
or to really just be like, okay, I'm in a safe place. I'm in a place where you can really thrive and grow. What was that like, you know, click button that for you, whatever that might be?
Right. So, right around the end of my active duty contract, I was actually referred to TTEC by, at the time, he was my fiance.
Mm,
So, hearing him talk about the experiences and the things that happen and just the relationships that he had, with people that he worked with, was something, I guess, in a way that I craved because I didn't have that in my military role.
mm,
Um, like I was friends with people that I worked with, but it wasn't something, that I would be excited to come home and tell my partner about at the end of the day.
mhm, mhm,
I think that definitely helped me in making my decision to
mhm,
transition into that customer service role. And also the fact that I'm going from working outside all day, every day with 80, 90 pounds of gear
mhm,
to being able to sit in a desk chair, literally take that weight off of my back and
mhm.
shoulders, which gave me the breath of fresh air I think that I needed.
I love that. I love hearing that, Chelsea. And you kind of bring up a good point, which is, sometimes in addition to your experience, your partner's experience in particular, seemed to be a pretty strong influence in your decision to choose TTEC. So That's why we create spaces like this and the talent show to really bring people and stories like yours to the awareness of others, to really encourage them to take that leap into a career, but most importantly, a work family that really cares for each other. So love hearing that was the case for you as well. I'm gonna pause for a second and say hello to some of our listeners here. We have Zanel from South Africa, welcome. We also have Dare from Rwanda, which is amazing. So welcome to the talent show. And I love how Gabrielle also mentioned, I believe she's from Concord, North Carolina, that self-care is really an adventure and you must do it for yourself. So yes, Mental Health Awareness Day, do it, whatever that might mean, whether a change in environment or work or, just perhaps a routine. That is a wonderful reminder, Gabrielle. So love hearing that. So shifting a little bit, keeping in mind that many of us really find ourselves in career-driven, not by passion, but sometimes necessity, whether it's to fulfill financial obligations or making sure that we have food on the table. We really want to figure out a way to find a different path when we find ourselves in those situations, or at least we want to encourage that. So if somebody were to come to you, Chelsea, and they were like, well, Chelsea, you sound like you love what you do. Like, how do I get started? How do I find something that I enjoy doing so I can also live, as fulfilled as you sound?
Yeah, so I actually really like it when people ask me that. So I found my passion essentially for talking to people about the things that I enjoy in my cosplay community. I went back to my middle school and high school theater roots, my, working haunted trails in the fall. And in, I think it was 2021, so a couple years ago, I got back into the cosplay community. And I now make costumes by scratch. I make them, patterns from memory. I set up like guest tables at conventions, and that's the point where I get to talk to, people like you, Helen. They'll approach me and they'll say, "Hey, how did you make this?" I could talk for hours, and that translates really well into what I do with talent acquisition. I set up a table at a job fair, and somebody approaches me and says, "Hey, what do you guys do?" And I absolutely loved what I did as a customer service representative, being able to help people, figure problems out and find solutions and things like that. So it's really easy for me to be able to combine my personal passion with my professional passion, which I think makes my world 10 times easier. And definitely falls into that saying, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Love that.
I tell people that I interview that the office is my home away from home. I have Star Wars actor signatures on the wall in my office.
Love that.
Yeah, so I bring a lot of my personal passion to work, and anybody that knows me in the office can see that.
Love that. No, it really just goes to speak volumes. I mean, it's just how one can have really niche passion and hobbies. And I mean, cosplay is just such a magical world. And I can really see you translating that in the talent space, from the booth to the booth, just offering a true experience and leading with that human insight. So, oh, I'm so happy for you, Chelsea. And we're so happy to have you as part of our talent team. Which, really brings another point. I love that you can really be yourself with, your signatures and in your office space. And it's a really good reminder that we do firmly believe here at TTEC that diversity does enrich our workplace and fosters an inclusive environment. And I'm happy to hear that you've experienced that, regardless of background, experience, or, where people might be starting from. There is likely a place for you here, whether you want to start in customer service or like Chelsea ended up in the talent space. I personally like to believe that we are committed to helping carve out people's careers, just like your journey has displayed, Chelsea, and find your calling within an organization. So it's not just about fitting into a role, right? It's about creating one that aligns just like you into your unique skills, aspirations, and life experiences. So keeping that philosophy in mind, that you're a perfect testament of that. What would you say to individuals that have been thinking for a while now about transitioning or making a change as a whole into a different career, or for, again, similar to your experience, into civilian life? What would you tell them to just take that next step?
Um, the best advice that I can give is to take that leap. I, again, was a customer service representative for, I'd say, probably just under 10 months. And my fiance, so we just got married a couple weeks ago. But at the time, he was still my fiance. He told me, he was like, "Hey, there's a talent acquisition job opening, on site. I think you should apply for it. I think you'd be really good at it." So I took that jump. I was like, you know what? Whatever happens, happens. If I get it, cool. I'll take that route. If I don't get it, I'll try
Mhm.
again later. And I did. I took that leap and then started in February. So pretty quick turnaround.
Yay.
My best advice is just do it.
Just do it. And this is not sponsored by Nike, but just do it. I totally agree. Sometimes that's really what makes a pivotal change in people's careers. It's just, we do things every day, and I'm sure you do too, like to really put other candidates' journey as the first priority. But sometimes we really needed to pause and see how we can do that for ourselves. And it sounds like you did that. Which, again, we can see we can hear now this wonderful story of your outcome, and can't wait to see what you do next. All right. So, from a global perspective in career transitions, this is not something unique to Chelsea. This is really possible for any TTECers around the world. And if you don't know, check out our ttecjobs.com page to see where we're located. But from India to US to Mexico and a lot of places in between, you can likely find an opportunity here, so you can have a similar experience like Chelsea did. Well, Chelsea, thank you so much again for sharing your time today with us. I've personally been truly inspired by your story in your transition and your successful career at TTEC so far. It's been an absolute pleasure. Your journey, I believe, truly highlights the incredible potential of embracing change, leveraging past experiences, and continuously striving for growth, which is incredibly impressive. We really do hope that Chelsea's insights and advice have provided valuable guidance for anyone out there considering a career change, whether, again, it's from a veteran journey or a professional background. Remember, the skills and experiences you bring to the table are unique and valuable. And there are organizations out there like TTEC ready to support your journey wherever that might lead you. So before we let you go back to your day, we do want to spotlight some roles. But before we do that, again, Chelsea, we're so thankful for your insights today. And let's see, maybe a year from today, we'll have another talent show and invite you and see where that journey takes you. But
Yeah,
thanks again for your time and for sharing your story.
absolutely. Thanks for having me, Helen.
Awesome. All right, friends. As you know, we typically wrap up the show with bringing to your attention some roles that we really want to spotlight. And today in particular, we have two. One coming from Tempe, Arizona, as a sales service delivery manager. And I want to tell you, this is a fantastic role for anybody looking to develop their career further and really ready, whether at TTEC or outside of TTEC, to inspire others as a sales service delivery manager. I've personally have had the pleasure to go to our Tempe, Arizona office, and it is just an incredible culture. The energy is so tangible, a beautiful office space, and not to even mention the views that we have from the office, looking at the Arizona landscape. So if that's something that sparks joy in your career, and you're ready for change, ready for a place that when you walk in through those office doors that really inspires you to grow, then this is probably the right role for you. So we encourage you to check it out and take the leap and apply. The second role we want to feature, it is in Ahmedabad, India, from our Ahmedabad, India office, and it is as chat customer service representative. This is also a fantastic opportunity to, perhaps if you want to, strengthen your language skills, as English is a requirement for this role, and also serve as a customer service, the different populations for our clients. It is a great opportunity to just develop your career, experience TTEC and its culture. If you're curious about what life at TTEC India looks like, I do encourage you to check out our Facebook page. We also have a TTEC USA Facebook page where really you get a deeper insight into life at TTEC. So if you're wondering what that could look like, and that could definitely be you, I encourage you to check that out. That is all for today, friends. Again, a million thanks to Chelsea, and keep a lookout. Don't worry, Rebecca will be back. We'll let her enjoy her time off again. And of course, thank you so much for joining the conversation and staying engaged here in the chat. I really appreciate your thoughts and input, and where you're coming from and listening from. If you are inspired by Chelsea's journey or are considering a career change, let's connect. Drop in the chat that you're interested, or just reach out in one of our social channels, and we would love to spark the conversation with you on what that change could look like for you. If you found today's episode of value, hit that share button, because we want the world to know that there's opportunity for all here. Until then, goodbye for now.